We all have our little corners of the world that we keep coming back to. For Max and I, it's the Marble Mountain Wilderness. We stumbled upon this slice of Northern California last year on tour, and we were so captivated that we dedicated a solid 2 weeks to exploring it this year. At our show in Fort Jones, we made a new friend, Christy, and invited her to join us on our backpacking trip. She had brought along her friend Mike, and the four of us took off on our epic adventure. Our hike began from Lover's Camp Trailhead around 4 p.m. We had a 6.5-mile trek and a 2,000-foot ascent to the Sky High Lakes. We found a perfect spot right on the water's edge of Lower Sky High Lake to set up camp. Before setting up our tents, we all jumped into the lake to cool off. And thanks to Mike and his trusty pocket saw, we had plenty of firewood to warm up by a fire. As night fell and we went to filter our drinking water, we noticed dozens of California newts swimming curiously in and out of our headlamps. They were so much fun to watch. In the morning, after breakfast and coffee, we finalized the plan for the day. We were feeling good and ready to really get deep into the Marble Mountains. Our plan was to push on to Cliff Lake, but didn't know the extent of the journey since our map wasn't fully downloaded on our phones. The map showed a lot of ascents and descents, but that didn't scare us. We were up for the challenge. We began climbing 600 feet in 1 mile up to the Pacific Crest Trail, and shortly we arrived at an overlook of the Marble Mountain itself, a bald-faced mountain of exposed white marble that glowed bright in the sunlight. We stopped here for a snack and to check our navigation, and noticed a nearby lake called Shadow Lake that was only a half a mile and 250 feet down off of our trail. We dropped our packs to check it out. It was a beautiful spot, and we actually wished we'd pushed to this spot on the first night because of the stunning views that overlooked the very lakes that we camped by. We continued along the PCT until we reached the cutoff for Summit Lake. And boy, did we understand why it was called the Summit Lake Trail. We descended about 1,000 feet in 3 miles, all the while mentally preparing for the climb back up the next day. We stopped for some pictures by the Summit Lake before tackling our last climb to our destination. Max and I were actually told about Cliff Lake by a guy we met at one of our campsites a week back. He had said that it was his favorite lake ever, and that once we got there, we wouldn't want to leave. He was right. We clocked just around 10 miles to get there, arriving around 6 p.m. We wished we had gotten there sooner because the site was absolutely beautiful. We had another fire, this time a much larger one, and there was plenty of space to spread out around the lake. The next morning, we had an 11-mile hike out, summiting the Summit Trail back to the PCT, then taking the Red Rock Trail cutoff back to where we had started. Throughout the wilderness, we could hear the faint sound of cowbells, and as the trail opened up to a giant meadow, we saw where the noise was coming from. The entire field was filled with cattle. The Marble Mountain Wilderness is a special place. There is so much left for us to explore, and we cannot wait to return next summer.